Hello, fellow nerds and relationship enthusiasts. Also, my YouTubers and friends on this site. Love and miss you all. I am here to talk about the special keys in a great relationship. Number one is most important: communication. Many people do not realize this, but you do need great communication in a relationship in order for it to last. For example, my last relationship didn't end very well because we did not have great communication. It was good, don't get me wrong, but eventually after I graduated, everything started to get a little rocky, and we we didn't spend a whole lot of time together like we used to, and it started to worry us. We tried everything, and some of it worked for a little while, but then he felt that the spark was going away, so we ended things. Of course, this broke my heart, like shattered it into a million pieces. But, I dealt with it. Now, another thing for a healthy relationship is spending time together. I know most of us have those really time-consuming jobs that take a long time, and most of us don't get off till really late. But it's good to just, whether it's texting them, it's just fine, as long as you don't become a text relationship or a technological relationship where you only use technology to communicate. That limits your communication to just texting or video chatting or calls. And it's not healthy. It really isn't. If it's like long distance sort of thing, like they're away on vacation or a business trip or a family thing, that's totally fine. That's totally fine. However, if you have the time, like if you're off work or if you're unemployed and looking for jobs and you have that significant other, it's important to keep that relationship alive by spending time with them. Whether it's an hour or two, like just coffee, or spending an entire day together. For example, with me and my boyfriend, we love spending time together. Even though we can't do it very often, we try. And that's another thing. You have to try. If you don't try, then it's not a relationship. It's just two people just probably hanging out together. You're better off as friends than in a relationship. And yeah, it sucks, but you have to try. You really do. If you really like this person, or if you're really interested in this person and you really love them, or something like that, you have to try. Otherwise, it's going to end up blowing up in smoke, and you're basically going to ruin your life. Needless to say, it's not the end of the world, but it will mess you up mentally. And, really, that's all the true keys to a healthy relationship. But if you're in a bad relationship, whether he's abusive or more married to his job than committed to you, leave. Just leave. Because it's not worth it. If your significant other is abusive, or they give you a false sense of security, or they're more married to their job than committed to you, leave. That's the only thing I can tell you, is just leave. Because it's not worth it. Whether they make you feel secure or not, it doesn't matter. You need someone better because you deserve better. I was never in a really abusive relationship. I was never in an abusive relationship at all. But witnessing my parents' marriage go up in smoke, it was pretty easy to realize that my dad was a complete fuck up. And I normally don't bash people on the internet, but in this case, I'll make an exception. My parents' marriage was not perfect. It was great for a little while, I guess, although he was away a lot, and by a lot I mean deployed. He was in the Navy. But even after he retired, he wasn't around. He always stayed out late, whether it was at work or doing God knows what. And I honestly just gave up trying. Not to say that you should give up trying with your parents if they didn't monumentally fuck up like mine did. He basically lost the privilege of getting to know me and being able to relate to me because he can't. And he gave up that privilege because I'm just not going to deal with it anymore. Because all we ever do is fight with each other on stupid shit that doesn't even matter, or he contradicts me on everything that I do, or we just don't get along at all. We really don't. He has nothing to relate to me. He can't relate to me at all. And I know that sounds really stupid and that I should have a relationship with my father. I can't. Needless to say, to me, he's a lost cause. I would rather not be the daughter that loves her father regardless of his mistakes, because he just keeps making them over and over and over again, and I'm tired of it. I'm tired of dealing with it. So I just gave up. Because I'm tired of being in competition with him for stupid things. I'm his daughter, not a competitor. And if he really loved me, he would have actually shown it. He would have actually spent time with us when we were kids. Of course, he still kind of gets that privilege with my brothers, but they don't like that idea. And I can see why. Anyways, enough bashing my father for now. In a healthy relationship, it's important that you spend time with your significant other, as well as you show that you love them every day, not just on Valentine's Day. Guys, I'm talking to you. You see, fellow ladies out there, men usually use Valentine's Day as the only day of the year when they treat us to something nice, or they get us gifts or anything like that, when really, they should actually be showing this affection year-round, because that's important in a relationship as well. You show you love your spouse or your significant other regardless of what day it is. For example, my boyfriend Matthew and me. I show him I love him by sending him cute little text messages, or cute pictures of nice quotes, or kittens, I don't know. And he does the same. He also tells me he loves me, and that he misses me, and that he wishes I was with him. And I do the same. I do miss him from time to time, especially when he's at work, because he's at work pretty much the rest of the week. He's usually off 3 days a week, which is fine. That's great, because then we can spend those 3 days together. Whether it's at my house or his house, or we go out. Doesn't matter to me, as long as we're together. But also, a nicer or a great way to stay in a relationship is to not be materialistic or selfish. Many people do not really realize that being self-absorbed or selfish gets you back to the single losers table. Especially at weddings. It really does. And you should be selfless with your significant other, especially whether it's vulnerability or whether it's sharing something like food. Like food or transportation. Like my boyfriend has a car and he can drive it. I sadly cannot. So if we ever want to do something, he either has to come over here or he has to come pick me up and take me back to his house. I know that's not really the best thing, but it's what we can do for the time being until I can get my license after testing. It's not a bad thing. But another thing is being materialistic. No. That's horrible, and no one likes it. It's stupid. Like, I consider myself not a materialistic person. I don't need special gifts or anything like that. If he just wants to do something nice for me, I'll let him. Because he's being sweet. My mom also told me once that if a guy offers, say, to take you to dinner or to a movie, you usually, unless he lets you, or unless you treat him, that he takes the check or anything like that. Let him be the man. I'm okay with that, unless he's basically spending a lot of his money on me. That makes me uncomfortable, and I regret it. But I will make up for it this Christmas. So Maddie, if you're watching this, I'm definitely gonna make up for this with your Christmas presents. I've got some really good ideas. So. And being materialistic is kind of the same thing as being selfish, because you only want what's best for you instead of your spouse or significant other. It's not fair to them or to yourself. Because being selfish, you're just delaying the inevitable. But when you're not materialistic, when you're selfish, makes you feel better about yourself and makes them feel better that they have you in their lives instead of them regretting it every day. I do not regret being a tad materialistic in my past relationships. However, I do regret it now because I realized now, well, a few years ago, that I don't need all that stuff. I just want them. I'm just a woman who wants love. To be loved, to feel acknowledged, to feel like I'm more than just a toy to a man. And I do feel that way with Matthew. I'm not a toy to him. I'm a person. Therefore, he treats me accordingly, which is great for us. And I treat him the same way, as should everyone, whether it's in your marriage or if it's in your relationship. You have to treat them as a person. Please, I beg of you people, to just treat your significant other or your spouse as a person instead of a toy or just an object just being there. 'Cause trust me when I say that if you do something wrong, it will end badly for you. Or for them. It will end badly. Trust me. If you really want to marry this person, then don't do anything to fuck it up. Because trust me, when you lose that part of you that you cannot get back, it stays with you for the rest of your life. And you regret it forever. And it's not a good feeling. However, if you wish to just have no strings attached kind of relationship, then go for it. I'm not going to stop you. It's not my job. It's your fault. You're fucking up your life. But I implore all women to consider this. Don't be materialistic. Don't be a materialistic whore or a materialistic bitch. Trust me, it will end badly for you all if you are like that. I know it hurts for me to say this, but it's fucking true. Because if you're materialistic, you will not like the outcome. You really won't. It will totally end badly for you and totally blow up in your face. And then you will regret it for the rest of your life because that's all you wanted. I am not a materialistic person because I have all that I need. I really do. I have a phone for communication. I have my laptop for doing homework and posting videos for you guys. I have notebooks and I have sketchbooks. I have paintbrushes. Anything that I could have ever wished for, I already have it. I have the greatest friends in the world and I love them dearly. They're like my brothers and sisters, so we're close. We're really so close. I have a mother who loves and cares about me and who cares for me. I have 2 brothers whom, even though they drive me completely crazy from time to time, I still love them. I have a boyfriend who loves me dearly and I love him too, and we are in a very wonderful and balanced relationship. And I have clothes, I have shoes, I have coats for winter and anything. I don't need anything really. But my advice to all the women out there who have husbands or boyfriends or girlfriends, whichever your sexual preference is, I don't mind. If they just want to do something nice for you or buy you something just because, that's totally fine. But don't expect to ask for anything in return, because otherwise, they'll just think you're using them. And that's not a good thing. You want them to feel loved by you. Therefore, if you want to do something equally as nice for them, or if you're like me, who's middle class, poor as fuck, and can't really afford really high-end things, then do something that's spontaneous for them, or just, I don't know, give them a small present. Something you can afford, something that's not out of your price range. Or if you want to do something that comes from your heart and make it for them, go ahead. That's totally acceptable. I used to make presents for my friends all the time. I still do. I even make jewelry and stuff for my cousins for Christmas and for their birthdays and Valentine's Day. I send them heart emojis and say I love you because they're my family and I love them. And it's just me. I like to create things. I'm an artist. That's what I'm going to school for. I do coloring pages for kids or for my best friends who love anime. I do jewelry. I make earrings, I make necklaces, I make bracelets. I can't do rings though because I don't know how to do that. But I make jewelry or accessories for their hair, you know? Just anything that comes from your heart is a great idea. Trust me. It doesn't have to be pricey. It could be homemade, like a card or a piece of jewelry if you're into that stuff. Like if you're into making things like I am, if you're really crafty. Or you could make a jewelry box for them. I did that. And I think for Christmas this year, I should give my boyfriend something that's mainly from my heart, but also clothes from Old Navy. Because trust me when I say that his closet is very limited. Sorry to put your business out there, Maddie, but it's true. It's adorable, really, but he only has one nice shirt out of his entire closet. It's funny. And in a relationship, it's great to laugh together. Even if it's about something stupid, just laugh. Like, if you have iFunny, look at funny memes or something and show them to them. Or if you see a funny billboard on the street, say, oh, hey, that looks really funny. Or if you got any jokes up your sleeve, do that. That's totally cool. If you guys love comedy movies, go see a comedy movie. Or just watch one at home. That's what he and I usually do. Sometimes when I go over to his house, we do homework. He helps me with my math homework, or we just sit and watch TV together. We're actually going to start doing something that I think most couples would really enjoy. Let's say you both have a show in common, and you're both pretty caught up in that show. Why not watch it together? Make it a thing. Do a little bowl of popcorn, and just watch it together. Like, for example, I haven't really introduced this show to him yet, but it's a show on Netflix called Chilling Adventures of Sabrina Spellman. And it's a really good bone-chilling show, you know? I like it really very much. And I thought he would like it because we're both kind of into the same things. So I mentioned it to him, and he's like, oh, that sounds really cool. We should do that. And I said, okay, well, I'm not far in, so you can easily catch up. And we just made it a thing. On his days off, he'll either come over here and watch Netflix with me, or we'll go out and have fun. So, also, a good thing in a relationship is compromise. If you don't agree on something, find something you guys can meet in the middle for. For example, if your guy wants to go bowling or just go play laser tag, but you want to do something else, like play video games, here's a great idea. Go to the Brunswick Zone. Yes, it's a little on the pricey side, but it's a great way for both of you to have fun. He can do what he wants, and you can do what you want. And then you guys can meet up afterwards and maybe just play video games together, or, since they have laser tag, do laser tag. But it's great to have things in common as well. For example, Matt and I have Harry Potter in common. So, sometimes I will go over there and we will watch a Harry Potter movie or something, or just last week I lent him my Cursed Child playwright book for him to read because he hasn't got a chance to read it yet. And hopefully I get that back because I love that book. But it's great to have things in common with your spouse or your significant other because it's easy to find stuff to do together. And sometimes it's a little bit difficult to compromise with your significant other because there's not a whole lot to deal with or to work off of. So, for example, if, let's say, he's got homework, but you don't, and it's not, well, you do too, but it's not due for like a week or so. Be study buddies. Go to each other's houses and study for your tests or do your homework that's due in a week. Either way, it's a win-win. You guys hang out together afterwards when you're done, and you get something done out of it. For example, I sometimes help him with English homework because he's not much of a writer. His words, not mine. But I help him with word choice and diction and anything else that he really struggles with in that class, I'm good for. So, and then in return, if I need help with math or studying for a math test, I've got my tutor. on the other end of my phone. But needless to say, those are all the great keys to a healthy and balanced relationship. And just don't be afraid to show who you really are to them, because that's also important. Being yourself with the one that you care for and the one that you love is really important. Whether you're really quirky and weird like me, or you're really shy, or you're really rough, don't be afraid to show those feelings. Sure, they probably won't like them at first, but they'll learn to live with them if they're willing to live with them for a little while. So, I leave you with these words. Do not change who you are just because you love someone. But also don't change your religious choice because you love someone. I wanted to do that once, and look where it got me. But I have Maddie now, and we are really happy together. And I hope that these words encourage you to do the same, to want to be happy with the one you love. Bye.